great Monday and welcome to the Coach Show, where women life and business coaches come to be educated, equipped, and empowered to coach with confidence and lead with transformational power. Join me, Coach P, right here on the Life and Business Coach campus every Monday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time to package your brilliance, optimize your performance, and bring harmony to your life. I guess y'all said it's not Monday, it's Tuesday, Pam. Well, I know that, but welcome to the Coach Show on Tuesday evening. This is a special edition on this evening. Equipped, empowered, poised, and positioned to move those who are ready to move is my ultimate mission. I wake up every day determined to make a difference in my assigned place. You see, my purpose, my passion, and my focus is to take you, each one of you, from where you are to where you want to be. I am Pamela Lue-Hing, better known as Coach P. And again, I welcome you to the Coach Show special edition this evening. I am so excited, y'all. Y'all just don't know. This is extra special for me tonight. It's extra special. You're going to find out why in just a moment. But tonight we are welcoming a brand new author. She is just superb. She is incredible. She is my star. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce you because I want to jump right on in. For those of you who are ready to go to the next level in your life, you need to tune in. So if you know anybody out there who's ready to go to the next level in their lives, in their careers, and move into their purpose, then you need to tell them, come on in here. Go ahead, like, share, start a watch party. All right. It is time tonight. It's going down. So let me go ahead and introduce a newest author on the planet Earth. Let me introduce her right now. I'm going to pull this up and give me just a moment. I am the technician tonight as well as the host. So hold one moment. Wimberley.
Hello.
I am so happy that you're here, y'all. The other part that I did not share in Zaundra's introduction is that we go way back in Detroit, right? We went to grade school together. Grade school, y'all. It's just been a few years ago, you know.
Yeah.
Right. So I am excited to have you here, Zaundra, and I cannot tell you how very proud I am of you. I am so proud of you. This is something I know you've been wanting, and you have had so many wins in your life. And this is like the icing on the cake, right?
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here with you too. And you've had a part in this. So let's not overshadow that, Coach P, and how you trained me and gave me the training that I needed to be the transition coach that I am today. And I thank you.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. You are welcome. You are welcome. So the book itself, From Boss to Boss, it's never too late to reclaim your dreams and live in purpose. I had the opportunity to, of course, read your book. And oh my goodness, y'all talk about in for a treat. Y'all are in for a treat. What I love about your book, I have to, sorry, Zaundra, Coach Z. How about I call you Coach Z tonight? All right.
That's fine.
Yes. So Coach Z, what I really appreciate about your book is that you coupled it with so many things. There's so many, it keeps you going, right? It keeps you intrigued, it educates you, it empowers you, you connect well in the book. You know, I can feel you in that book, right? And then you give practical application. That's hard to find in one book.
Okay.
You know, in the story,
Yeah.
you made it come alive. Your story was alive. I was so, your imagery was right on point, right? So I was really intrigued by the next. Oh my goodness, what's going to happen next? And then what's going to happen next? Oh, wait a minute, I need to take some notes there. Let me capture that note because I need to incorporate that in my life. So it was that kind of book, and it is that kind of book. So I'm excited. If y'all are here tonight, I see some people chiming in. Go ahead and type in comments. You will want to grab your notebook tonight because Coach Z is going to be dropping some gems tonight. So tell us about From Boss to Boss. Tell us, tell us, tell us, tell us.
Okay. Well, the book is a branch of myself. I open myself up to share some of who I am and what I've been through to help others. I found myself in a position in my career, in my life, where I was going to work from day to day, but I didn't have that feeling of purpose. I wasn't fulfilled. I was going from job to job, and I could do the jobs proficiently because we all have multiple skills, right? I mean, most of us, many people can do more than one thing. So it wasn't that the jobs that I had, I wasn't able to do them, but they weren't giving me that fulfillment that I was looking for. And I would find myself in the job for 2 or 3 years, and then something would happen, and then I would go to another job, and then something would happen. And during the whole process, I wasn't actually loving it.
Mhm.
And I was surrounded with a bunch of professional women like yourself. And some of them would say, "Oh, I just love what I do." They just thoroughly enjoyed it. And I started asking the questions. Well, what is it about your job? How did you know that public health was for you?
Right.
And how did you know that healthcare administration was for you, or you're in corporate America, or you're an attorney, whatever the profession was? And everyone would have a story about their moment when they just knew this was my purpose. This is my thing. This is the thing that drives me to get up every day. And many of them would do it. Of course, we need income, we need money to pay for things and to live. But many of them would do that at no for free. When you really are fulfilling your purpose, the
Yes.
money, is just secondary because you're just driven to do it. And so I had to examine myself, and I said, you know what, I don't have that spark for any of these things that I am doing. And I went back and I took a look. First of all, I prayed because
Right.
I'm a very spiritual person. I'm like, Lord, okay, what is it? So
Right.
I know clearly I was meant to be a mother. I have these beautiful children. I'm a wife. Those things were a part of what you have me here on earth to do. But
That's right.
what is this thing that you wanted me to do? And I walked the reader through my journey. I had to go back to my childhood.
Mhm.
Sometimes you get stuck
That's
and
right.
you just don't, you like, okay, how do I unstick myself? What is it? And
Right.
when I examined myself and I thought about it, it was already there. It was
Yes.
always there. That thing just never went away. And
Mm.
so I had to transition, and I had to take a look at myself, and I said, okay, so this is the thing that I really love to do. This is my purpose. This is what you've called me to do. And so now there was this yearning inside of me to share this with others, because when I would tell people this story, like I'm talking to you, we'd have a conversation. This was several years ago. People would say, "Oh my God, what do I do?" And I would say, "Well, this is what I did." And so the book, it was like carrying a child. It
Mm.
lived in me, and I
Right.
had to birth it. I had to write this book and give steps and give insights into how I came through
Mhm.
my situation. You're never
Mm.
stuck. You just go through, and
Just
then you
go
come
through.
out on the other end.
I love that. I love that you just go through and you come
You
out on
go
the other
through.
end.
You come
You
out.
are the epitome of resilience, truly the epitome of what do you call it? Reinventing yourself. And you are the perfect person to have written this book, From Boss to Boss. It's never too late to reclaim your dreams and live in purpose. So tell us, you said uh, in your book, you talk about, life is too short to be miserable. So that is like a mantra for you, right? It's like,
It's my mantra.
yes, yes. And so what really, a lot of people today, I think, with everything going on with the pandemic, and we kind of get stuck in that being miserable and being complacent in that I'm going to create a whole new word, miserability, in that miserable
Yeah.
life,
Mhm.
right? So how did you overcome that?
Well, it- Coach P, as a woman, many times what happens is we put everybody first.
Mm,
If we have a family, those children come first. If we're married, the needs of the husband. If we are caregivers, the needs of our parents. I've been all of those things.
mm,
And I put myself last because we generally are at the bottom holding everyone up. That's
mm,
generally what we do.
mm,
But to get up every day and to sit on the side of the bed and try to figure out, oh, am I sick today? I think I really need to call off today because you just don't want to get up and go to this place of employment. You
right,
don't, there's that that happiness because we know joy comes from the Lord and that's spiritual, but that happiness is just not there.
right.
It's life is just too short. And I would watch people get to mid age, 50s and 60s, and they would talk about how I just can't wait until I retire. They would do the countdown. I
Right.
just have 2 years and 2 months. And there was no plan. There was nothing. You've gone through this job, you've taken care of your children, paid to get them through college, hated every moment of it, and then you retire with no plan. And then some people have sadly passed away
Yeah.
and just worked and worked and worked, not fulfilling something that they wanted to do, their genuine purpose. And I said that cannot be me. I was like, Lord, I have to do what you put me here to do. I
Hmm.
have to. Hmm.
And just being determined to
Being
do it.
determined, being determined.
Yeah.
It's never too late. If you still have breath in your body, it is never too late. And the message was to those, because I'm in the 50-50 club. I'm not ashamed to say that. It's
Right.
not too late. Many times we think, oh, well, if I'm not young, if I'm not in my 20s or my 30s, I can't transition. I can't make that change. I can't, it's too hard, or I'm not going to be accepted, or what will people think? So pushing all of that aside and moving forward.
Hmm. Okay, y'all. Y'all see why you got to push a like and you got to share because somebody needs to hear this tonight. Somebody needs to hear this message tonight. So, Coach Z, you talked about the workforce and how it has changed, and so has the mindset of the employee. It's changed. So, can
Mhm.
you tell us what has been your experience around that, and what have you seen? Because you've been in corporate America for quite some time, and you've been at various levels in yeah, as manager, as own business owner, so much experience. So tell us more about that experience and then how that relates to and ties into your book.
Well, the pandemic brought on a world change.
Hmm.
People, we all woke up and most of us were in shock
That's
that the
right.
world had come to a screeching halt. And
Hmm.
people had an opportunity to reevaluate. Here, I live in Detroit, and we lost so many people. We were at the unfortunately the top of the leaderboard in people passing away from COVID.
Yeah.
Many people, I know so many people that passed away. I have friends and colleagues who lost both parents
Hmm.
within months of each other, story after story. Younger people, older people who passed away, and people began to re-examine
Yeah.
their lives
That's right.
and they're in the workplace because the workplace was dangerous depending on where you worked. If you were in the service industry, various industries where you came in contact face to face with people, it was dangerous. Literally, your life could be on the line.
That's
And
right.
so this led to the great resignation. People said, first of all, I'm not earning that much income as a server or as a housekeeper or certain professions or as a custodian. I'm not earning, or this is a second job and I'm putting my life on the line.
Hmm.
I'm not being treated well.
That's
And
right.
so I'm not coming. I choose something different. And so people
Hmm.
became self-employed.
That's
They
right.
began to do other things. They began to take advantage of the gig economy and do things that they could to earn income. And some of them just chose to live differently, to cut
Hmm.
back and say, I don't need that, but my life, my peace of mind, my
That's right.
health, the
That's right.
preservation of my life is more important. And so
Mm-hmm.
what we saw was a lot of people, and we still today are suffering from that in the job market. It is an employee's market. It's hard to retain people in certain professions.
That's
And
right.
you go oftentimes go to restaurants and they'll have signs on the door that
Mm-hmm.
says, we're closing early, or due to staff shortages, various stores they've cut hours because they people are have had a mindset
Mm-hmm.
change. They've shifted their mindset about working and where they're working, and they're more choosy and more intentional with what they're doing with their lives.
So was this experience a drive? Was it a how can I say? Was it that something that said, I've got to move and write this book? I've got to get this book out of me because people, with all that you just shared, right? Was that one of the reasons why, the core reasons why you actually wrote your book?
Well, I started the book before the pandemic.
Okay.
So but I was able to add something to it throughout the writing of it. It took, it was longer than a couple of months to write the book. So I
Okay.
did go through some things while I was completing the book, and I was able to draw from that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I can see how, I mean, your book is so relevant to what's happening right now. And it really is. And so when we talk about, dreams and aspirations and living in purpose, and folks out there, if that's what you really look forward to doing, and you have a passion, you have a purpose, you got to get from boss to boss, and not get complacent with what's happening today, because there's so much going on in the world, right? There's so much happening, and your book really is an answer to many people, I believe. What do you think, Coach Z?
Absolutely. Anyone who is just questioning where they are in their
Okay.
career, where they are, and sometimes when we sit down and reflect and think about it, and
That's
we
right.
it generally it goes back to childhood. I can't say that enough. It's like, wow, I always
Mm,
knew. I just felt something in me. I always wanted to. I mean, for example, I wanted to sing. I've always and that's your talent, but you
yes.
went in another direction because maybe someone said, "Oh, you can't earn income," and "Oh, there's only one Anita Baker, and there's only one Whitney
Yes.
Houston,"
Yes.
and so, but and so you find yourself years down the road having chosen something differently, but that's still inside of you. There's still a way to fulfill that purpose and to do that, even though you may have gone in a different direction. But
Mm,
the satisfaction that comes from doing what you know you were put on earth to do is just it's inexplicable. It gives
mm.
you a sense of peace, and you just are doing what you are called to do.
What you were called to do. But you briefly mentioned it. You like tipped your toe in the water on it just a little bit. But you were
Okay.
actually derailed when it came to really pursuing your dreams and fulfilling your purpose. So, can you tell us a little bit about when you really realized that happened, and tell us that story, because that's actually in your book. And I was
It
so
is.
surprised to read that. Yes.
It is. And I believe, as a matter of fact, I know I had just suppressed it. When
Mm,
we are resilient people, and when things happen to us, especially in childhood, if there's a trauma or whatever, our survival skills, those techniques, it just kicks in. You just, forget about it, you tuck it away, and you
that's right.
don't think about it, and you just move forward and keep going because we have to survive, right? And we have to
Mhm.
live on.
That's
But
right.
when I went back to thinking about what is it that I always wanted to do, I
Mhm.
realized that I wanted to be a broadcast news anchor. As a
Mm,
little girl, when I was 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, I would just be mesmerized by watching news. I was mesmerized by the whole process of being on television and reading the news. So I love books and reading and all of that. And I was a good reader, and I could sit up and pretend like I was reading the news. I would play like that because I was raised as the only child. When you are these only children, right? You
mhm.
have to come be creative with the ways that
Right.
you play. So,
Right.
I would pretend once I was able to read to do that. And I had someone close to me say to me, that I might want to consider something else because the women on TV didn't look like me. And the
Mhm.
insinuation was that I was too heavy. So I was a plump little girl. I wasn't morbidly obese, but I was a plump little girl. And I was really very shocked
Mhm.
and stunned by that, because it didn't I never thought that. I didn't even think about that, but I internalized it. And so I pushed that dream away, and I just went as far away from it as I could, because I figured, oh well, I can't do that. I
Mhm.
actually believed that, and that wasn't true. That
Mhm.
was not true. But once I discovered that, I uncovered that, I dove right back in. And here I am talking to you today. It looks like I'm on the news right now being interviewed.
That's right. That's right. Yes, yes. And this is just the beginning because I know that your book is going to a bestseller. I'm just real clear on that. It is so practical and it's so timely. It really is timely. So you talk about preparation, right? So, we dealt with the past, we dealt with, and you talk about in the book how to deal with those traumas of the past so that you can move forward.
Yes.
And that means the next step then would be preparation. So, how important is it to prepare, and what is that planning process all about, and why is it so important to do that?
When you're prepared, you have peace. If you just jump
Mm,
out and do something, you're all over the place. You don't
that's
know if
right.
I should go left. I don't know if I should go right. Should I do this? Should I do that? But if you sit down and plan, and I'm a planner, sit
Mhm.
down and plan everything from your finances. My number one tip is to start saving, cut back. You
Mm,
don't have to have Starbucks every day. You don't have to hit every Macy's shoe sale. You can cut back and begin to save
mm,
for those things that you're going to need. If you're launching a business, or if you're shifting a career, you will need some professional development. Whatever it is that you choose to do, you
mhm,
want to save and limit your debt as much as possible. And then you've got to research. Part of that planning is researching the industry that you are going into. Things change
that's
over the
right.
years. I mean, they're constantly evolving. There's new platforms that comes out. There's new ways to do things. I mean, from almost from week to week, month to month, there's something new. So you want to educate yourself and research your industry and what you're going to do. See what you need to do to make those steps. So financial planning and researching are two of the most valuable things that you can do.
Mhm.
And you can start that immediately. While you're working on everything else, you can start that immediately.
Mm. I love it. I love it. I told y'all. Yeah, I hope you're taking notes. You're taking notes out there. You got to take some notes. So, Coach Z, why is it possible to move toward your dream job later in life? We both are, on the second wonderful half of our lives.
Mhm.
So why is it possible?
It's possible because when we get to the level of having had some experience, it's better. We've made errors, we've made missteps. I hate to use the word mistake because it all works together, right?
Mhm,
For our
mhm.
education towards the glory of God, it all works together. So the
Yeah.
things that you've done in the past, you don't repeat them. You know how to sidestep them, you know how to go over them, you know how to go under them. So,
Mhm.
for example, I mentioned being financially mature.
Yeah.
So there was a time when I got paid, it was hit the mall. I mean, I had to have the latest perfume. Remember the Laura Biagiotti glasses? I had to have the fresh Laura Biagiotti glasses just because I wanted some, because everybody else had them. But
Yeah.
as time goes on and as we mature, then we learn better and then we can do better.
That's
So
right.
it's actually a good time to make a transition.
And that's probably one of the toughest things. And what would you say about mindset? Because of course, when we've had experiences and perhaps we want to transition out of the job, maybe even retire, it is all about, what do you say about mindset? So what type of work would you recommend that people do around mindset in order to really to walk in that purpose?
One of the biggest obstacles that people face with their mindset is generally fear.
Mm,
And I was taught that fear is a false expectation appearing real. It is a false expectation appearing real. So
yes.
we are stagnated many times because we're afraid. We're either afraid that we're going to succeed, or we're either afraid that we're not going to succeed, or we're afraid of what others will say. Oh, you can't do that. And many times it's those closest to us. And
Mhm.
that's another challenge. If it's someone right in your household, if it is a loved one, if it is a best friend that is telling you that you can't do something that you know you're being called to do, that is a challenge because you have to silence that noise. You have to
Mhm.
um, not necessarily let the left hand know what the right hand is doing as you are moving forward. So I many times what I have done is I hadn't said a word. I have just made my accomplishment and then announced it. And people are like, wow, you did this like with the book. Everybody didn't know that I was writing a book and people were stunned. They're like, how did you do that? And I said, well, with the grace of God, because I had a lot of things going on. But, at night in the evening, I'm working, I'm writing.
Yes.
And I didn't necessarily share that because I didn't want to hear anyone say, how are, just what they said, how are you going to do all of that?
Mm. Wow. Wow. But you've done it. You have done it. And, when I think about all of the gifts and talents that you have, I mean, because you had a baby food company,
I
right?
did. I
So,
did.
so please tell us a little bit about that.
What's funny, Coach P, is I got an email just this morning from the my trademark and patent attorney. It was like I was like, how interesting and ironic is this? Saying, your trademark for Little Lamb comes up for expiration next year because a trademark, I think it's a decade or, you renew it. And I had renewed it and didn't remember that it was expiring. He said, are you still
Mm.
selling? And, you got to send me this information if you're going to keep that. So Little Lamb was an all natural and organic line of Southern style baby food that I started when
Mhm.
my son Jeremiah, he's now 25, was a baby. So that was 25 years ago that I started. I had this idea. I'm an entrepreneur, so I had an idea that I wanted to make baby food that tasted good because it was a finicky eater. And I just started cooking. I remember talking to the pediatrician. I said to him, "Can I feed my baby some greens with a little cornbread?" And he said, "Sure, as long as you ensure that everything is natural, don't put any fats in it and things that goes into traditional soul food." And
Yes.
I just started making it. And one thing led to another, and I wound up with a commercially packaged and sold product. It was in 11 stores here in the Michigan area. And I held on to it for as long as I could. I tried to get some investors because I needed to own my own processing plant to really be able to have the margins that I needed for the company to be financially successful.
Yeah.
But I had a good run. It was a lot of fun. I met a lot of people, and I enjoyed that business.
You are an incredible inspiration. So, y'all out there, I tell you what, Coach Z is an expert. She's an expert to help you transition from your job into your purpose. She's an expert, and her book, From Boss to Boss, is out there. It's ready. It's ready to read. It's ready to equip you with all that you need, along with Coach Z, of course, to help you do just that. And so, Coach Z, you have some workshops, a series of workshops, and let's go ahead and share that. Pivot to a Boss series. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, so I have two master classes. One is Pivot to a Boss Career. So that one is for someone who wants to transition from one career to the next. So let's say you are working as a nurse and you want to transition to be an educator. You can do that. So that would be that course for you. Or pivot to a boss business. So you are working a job, but you want to have a business. You've always
Mhm.
wanted to own a bakery. You have a killer recipe and you want to open your own business, that series would be for you.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. So, what can one expect to learn from participating in these workshops? I know with the title, we can kind of get some idea, but you want to share a little bit more about it.
Absolutely. So we explore ensuring that for those who are still seeking and looking to for their purpose, we explore that, or we touch on that a bit, and then we walk you through the steps so that when you have completed this course, you are now ready to make that transition. You know how to set your business up. You're ready to transition from your job to that business. You have your plan set. You'll have your 12-month plan in place so that if it's whatever the time frame is, but you'll have a 12-month plan in
Mhm.
place for the next steps for you to move forward to your business or to your career. So you'll get practical steps that we walk you through
Mhm.
each step of the way. You ask questions, it's very interactive, and you're prepared.
Oh, awesome, awesome, awesome. So you have additional support beyond the book itself, then from boss to boss. It's never too late. So what are some parting words? And I'll just ask this question.
Mhm.
Why should someone read From Boss to Boss? It's never too late to reclaim your dreams and live in purpose.
Because, and it goes back to my mantra, life is too short to be miserable. So be encouraged. This book comes from my heart, it comes from my spirit. I am an
Mhm.
encourager, and you will be encouraged. When you get done reading this book, you will know that you can do it. Because if I did it with all that I have been through, then you can do it too. So you will be encouraged and inspired to move forward.
All right. Oh my goodness. Oh, I have so enjoyed hearing from you, Coach Z. And I am again so very proud of you. I just know that you're headed to bestseller. So everybody out there, we need you to go and purchase From Boss to Boss. It's never too late to reclaim your dream. So how can folks get a copy of your book?
Well, we are available on Amazon. So if you
Okay.
go to Amazon and you type in either my name or From Boss to Boss, it will come up. It is available electronically if you like the ebook. And actually, you can also purchase it from various bookstores. You just have to request it, and the bookstore can order it from for you if you choose that route.
Awesome. So this is Coach Z's name, Zaundra Wimberley, and let's talk about how they can connect with you, Coach Z. So of course, you have your website at ZaundraWimberley.com, and Wimberley is Ley, y'all. Take note, Wimberley, Ley.com. And you can also follow Coach Z on Twitter at Pro Zandra W. And then, of course, on IG at Dreams Enterprises, which I absolutely love. Enterprises. Facebook, you can follow her on Dream Z, Dream Z. But let's just keep it short and just go straight to website. That way, you'll know exactly how to get in contact with Coach Z to walk in purpose. Coach Z, I thank you so much for coming on tonight. Thank you for the special edition.
Oh, I thank you. Thank you so much. It has been my pleasure to sit here and spend time with you, my soul. I appreciate it.
Yes, yes. So everyone, go out and get From Boss to Boss. Okay, go out and get the book tonight, tonight. Go ahead, From Boss to Boss. It's never too late to reclaim your dreams and live in purpose. So let's live in purpose, but you got to get the book to find out the step by step on how to do it and make it happen. So everyone, God bless you. Coach Z, continue to thrive and continue to change lives because you're making it happen. So proud of you and much love to you.
Thank you. Love you back.